So now we're going to have a look at the web interface that comes with RPAS Logger. So to start our web interface, first of all we need to be on a wireless network, so on a local area network on the Wi-Fi, and the device and the computer that you want to view the web interface on need to be on the same network. So once that's been set up, we go to the button at the bottom right, which is our network button, and you can see there that we now have the web interface. Now I need to click on the little button down the bottom there that says Start Server, and you can see that it's put access link address there for us. Now everyone's access link address will be different depending on how their network's been set up, so don't copy this one because this is just for our network. So if I now type in that web address, the first thing that opens up is the flight report. So I've added a few extra flights to demonstrate some of the features of the web interface. You can see here on the flight report, it's basically a list of all the flights that have been done. And I can use the search to narrow things down a bit. If I type in Kiama, that'll show me only the ones that were done in Kiama. Basically the search will filter for any flight that has any of those listed fields there that match to what's in the search box. So it's very useful for quickly filtering. And down the bottom there you'll see 3 different totals. So you'll see the total this page, total for all the search results because it could go on over multiple pages, and also the grand total for all flights. So moving on from there, we also have the pilot logs. These show cumulative information for each pilot, and basically they show, well, you can see here I've done 3 flights with a total of 19 minutes on the Scarab at a weight of 1743 grams, and I've done 1 flight on the Scarab at a weight of 1493 grams. And my total so far is 30 minutes and 18 seconds. So moving along now to the equipment logs. First of all, I've got airframes. So it's basically telling me the cumulative use of all the airframes that I have. Now I can come over here and click on the flight log, and it will then break that up by individual flight for each airframe. And I can click on the maintenance log, and I can see that I've still got 1 pending maintenance item on there. The next report is the batteries. So batteries, this is the summary report, and I can see now that my battery's in a discharge state, so it's been used, so after the last charge, and got the basic details here. Now if I click on charge logs, that tells me all the charging information. So there's the initial charge there. Now between the initial charge and the next charge, it was flown for 9 minutes and 45 seconds, which used 79.9% of the battery capacity. And I've got my before and after voltages there for the charge, and my internal resistance. Internal resistance is very useful to just to keep an eye on your batteries. You'll find that it will gradually creep up over as the number of cycles increases, but then it can quite suddenly jump up, especially maybe just in one cell, and that's a very good indication that it's time to take that battery out of service. So coming back to the battery report, I've also got the usage logs. So that shows me when it was used, how long it was flown for, and the before and after voltages that were recorded in the field. So moving along to roll equipment or accessories, I've got my GoPro with gimbal, so I can look at the flight log, and I can look at the maintenance log, and there's no maintenance there. And I can also look at the last report is all maintenance, so I can still see the pending maintenance there for the Scarab, and there's no maintenance for any of the accessories. So I'll just come back here to flight logs. The other thing that you can do for any of these pages, you'll notice that you've got your little export button here. So if you wanted to export your pilot logs to Excel, we just click on the button, which should fire up an Excel spreadsheet for us. With that information in it. And I'll just expand out the columns. So you can see there, it's got all the information on there, and you can filter that further using Excel, and you can create reports for your regulatory authority and anything that you need to do of that nature. So I can also export my flight log, and it just gives you a lot more flexibility in Excel to do a lot more filtering. Again, now I've got all that information there, and I've got the flight notes as well. So yeah, that's just a quick overview of what's available on the web interface, and the more information that you gather over time, the more useful it's going to be. Particularly the battery with the charge logs, you'll get a pretty good idea of what's a safe flight time. Sort of pushing the envelope there a little bit with that last one, which is why it's in red. So anything over 80% is going to come up in red because we've probably pushed the battery a little bit too far.